Yo, back for a little bit of Terry James Bretzi live from the Costa Blanca South in my office here at Swedent. So if you are on the Costa Blanca and you need to talk to somebody, or you want to learn some human optimization techniques, or even if you're not on the Costa Blanca, you can get hold of me because we can do this wonderful thing on social media called virtual coffees, which essentially means we'll do video calls or just get on a call, half an hour chat with me, and we can talk about what you need, what's going on, why you're stuck, why you're blocked, why you're not doing what you should be doing, why you're making up excuses, why you're prioritizing all the wrong fucking things, and why you're not taking 10 minutes out of your life every single day to give yourself a break. Just stepping out, take a break from life and just doing nothing. Stop thinking. It's the biggest addiction of our time. Overthinking. Well, excuse me, I'm going to go on Instagram and do live. I think. How do I do that? Do a live. Am I live? Bear with me a second. We are having trouble sharing your live video. Are you now? Probably because I'm not connected to the internet. Okay. Anyway, 21st century problems anyway, guys. So as you read in the bottom, change your mindset, change your life. This one's all going to be about mindset and what we are or aren't doing, essentially. Actually, no, it's all about our mindsets, why we suffer in the way that we do, and more importantly, what we can do about it. Right, that phone's not having it, so I use the bad boy instead. This one is my favourite. I like my 11 Pro Max. I really like this phone. I got a tiny little chip on it where I fell off my bike. And we're live on Insta. So if I stick you in the corner, that way throw. Now, anybody want to throw up any questions, please do. It's super important, super powerful that we get some questions, get some stuff going on, and get some engagement, essentially. Oh, I got one. Boom. I can hear it. Hey, what can you hear? Katerina, what can you hear? Okay, so mindset. Okay, first of all, got some clangers for you. Well, to nice bit of witness, I want to say thank you to Nikki, a fellow coach, HR professional, and one of my virtual wifeys online bought me and sent me on Amazon to Spain this bad boy to keep my head. So, before I lose my head, I'm going to keep my head. So I'm going to wear this for a little bit. And I'm back on my bike today. It's been a little bit scary. It was a little bit scary because I've had stress. I'm still staying at my dad's place. I should really be in my own place. There's more stuff going on with the COVID and people talking about that, in my opinion, bullshit every single day, and worrying and scaremongering. So really important to understand about mindset. Actually, I'm not going to wear that too long. It's stupid, it? I'm not going to say, well, basically your mind's always listening to you. So we need to talk about fear. We need to talk about mindset. We need to talk about the power of letting go of thought and going within. And this is essentially what I talk to people about when I get on calls with people. And it all goes back to our mindset, because everything starts with a thought. Every single thing in our life starts with a thought, whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to be more confident, whether you're stressed, whether you want to get over anxiety is a huge one at the moment. What are we saying there, Catherine? School run whilst listening to positivity en route. Cool. Yeah, you're going to learn a lot in this one. And this is one that people in the past have paid me a lot of money just to kind of hear me say different things. That's why I quite like having people give me questions. But if you are doing the school run, hopefully you're not driving, but you can always throw up questions. Any questions are always good and welcome. Helps with the engagement, helps with more people getting to see this message. And at the moment, it's super important, super powerful, more so than any time in history, that we listen, we learn, we start looking into self-development, we start expanding our minds and start relaxing a little bit more, because we're being controlled by fear. And fear is nothing but an illusion of the future. And most of the time when we get there in the future, it's not even there anyway. The only two fears that we have to worry about, and that's because they are in our DNA, are falling and loud noises. And that is it in a nutshell. So if I have anyone on Instagram down over here, say hello, throw up comments or something, but I'm just going to leave you. I don't know if I can do anything. What are we doing? No, I don't know. I don't even like looking at myself on that one. Doesn't look right, so I'll make it minimal. So what is a fear? Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fears are inherited to us. They are limiting beliefs. They are not true. They are not fact. Fear is the illusion of something that we are imagining to happen. Like, for instance, all week I've been having these little flashbacks about me coming off my bike again. I'm thinking to myself, fucking hell, I've been in hospital a couple of times this year for different reasons. And I'm going to be safe, and I'm going to be healthy, and I'm going to be good. So no need to worry about other things that might happen. And I will be very, very careful, because on these lives, when I've said certain things and the language I've used isn't becoming of someone in my position, talking about language and helping other people to change theirs. And it actually helps to manifest stuff to me. Like I manifested the actual accident itself, because I was talking about people not having value, not having love, and not having appreciation. And then all of a sudden what happens? Bang, then you get lots of love, appreciation, lots of new people saying, but to be honest, it gave me that platform to actually prove to myself as well that no matter how shit things can get sometimes, you've got a choice. Happiness is a choice, and you can choose to be happy. You can choose to reach for the best feeling thoughts. You can choose to change the negative automatic thoughts into the most powerful opposite, which is a positive thought, to counteract it. And then you can create new beliefs that way. I like to talk about the hypnosis and the power of that, but really let's just go back to the basics about mindset. I listen to motivational education every morning. I say my affirmations. I sometimes don't sleep because I've got too much overthinking going on. Overthinking is the biggest addiction of our time, that and sugar. And again, where does that overthinking come from? We are programmed with negative bias to problem solve. Our subconscious mind is always listening and taking orders from us, and a lot of us think that the subconscious mind is the be and end all. It is everything, but it's not. It's the programs that are running. Our conscious mind is where all the magic's happening, but we don't stay in our conscious mind. So if we actually want to be in our conscious mind, in our intellectual mind more, we have to learn to be sat as an umpire at a tennis match or on a pedestal, and we need to observe those thoughts. If we're observing those thoughts, we're not in those thoughts. When we're in those thoughts, we try and argue with them. And if you ever try arguing with yourself, you're never going to fucking win, right? So it's super, super powerful and important right now that we are being more mindful, that we're taking the right steps to basically take a break from our lives and go within to a place of no thought. We've all got peace and calm, and it resides inside us all the time. It's always there. Everything that we need is inside us. We are made of the stuff that creates worlds. We are energy beings. We are light beings. And when we feel heavy in ourselves, it's because we're sewering our mind, our thoughts, and then our body feels crap. It creates dis-ease in the body, which then creates disease, mutations, and then we get ill. Hello, Kevin, down there on Instagram. Glad to have you on, bruv. So I heard something this morning. That's why I look over there, because I did write it down, because I don't often structure out these things. I tend to try and channel a bit for my spirit guides, one of which, and I don't talk more freely. I've been told off recently about not being in flow because I've been a little bit shy about my spirituality and about my actual beliefs. And always worried because about the way in which family and friends have reacted in the past, and made me feel like there's something fucking wrong with me. And I thought, hang on, that's not fair, because I felt that way my whole life, and that's what got me here. And then I stepped into my power, and I became a hypnotherapist. I became a accredited coaching master and a NLP practitioner. And I've not used those really to their full strength and monetize them. I use them for myself. I do use them with people and clients and being paid. But at the moment, there's some sort of blockage. And I think that's maybe because if I'm not talking openly and freely and I'm scared, I've got fear about the people might thinking like, oh, you're a fucking weirdo and stuff. And even that coming from people that I care about, well, the message in that to me is that that's the way they make you feel, then they're not for you. Step away from the people making you feel like shit. But essentially, we choose to shine a light on whatever we want. So if I'm worried about something, it's me that's choosing to worry about it, or I need to take the actionable steps to change that. So basically, a fish in water doesn't know it's in water, right? That's its surroundings. It's unknowing. It's like us walking around freely in air. We don't know that. For a fish, this could be its water, so to speak. So this is like our mindset in a way, because if we're in and around those thoughts and ruminating, which basically means overthinking, there's a lot of shit going on, right? It's so busy. I used to always say, when I was unplugged by a spiritual lady that met me and 30 seconds later said, "You're hyper empathic. Let me see 2 pictures of your last girlfriends. This is why that happened. That's why that happened. And it's to stem with X, Y, and Z. If you really want to know that stuff, then you need to become a one-on-one client." And then I tell you. But then, I completely lost my train of thought, silly boy. So basically, by being like hyper empathic and what have you, it was like there was a carnival going in my head all the time. And it was like a pinball machine, ding, 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 ding. And I now know what that is. That is neuronal firings in your brain. So if you've got an overactive brain and like the monkey chatter or your inner monologue, it's really important. You need to start flexing those muscles to actually calm that down. And we calm it down through relaxing music, through meditation, through hypnosis, and through you go into trance, essentially. That's why sometimes people just go, I just need to escape, and they'll watch TV and they'll watch their phones, but that's not serving you. It's not serving you at all. Reading books, serving you. What are you reading? Because your mind is always listening and taking orders from you. If you imagine that your conscious mind, this circus that's going on all the time, but when I was unplugged, it was like I stepped out of the carnival and stepped onto a plain white beach. And now when I shut my eyes, there's like a blank whiteboard in front of me, where before it was just these neurons, which I know a bit more about because I've studied it. It's neurons firing, and they're wired thoughts together. But we have 60, 70,000 thoughts a day, and 95% of them will be similar to the thoughts we had the day before, unless you start taking steps. Hello there, Julian. Hope you're well. Is Julian? Yeah, sorry. Rodriguez, you're a long way away from me, mate. I couldn't really see you there. So you have these thoughts happening all the time, but you are not your thinking. And this is where I think most of us go wrong, because as soon as you turn around and say something negative to yourself, your body, it creates a physiology and chemical release in your body. So we go, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Well, where did that come from? A lot of the time it comes from other people, comes from other situations that happen. You're not stupid. You need to turn around and empower yourself and say that I am strong, I am powerful, I believe in myself. I mean, throw me up a comment if you know what affirmations are. And if this is a replay for some of you, please put a replay, hashtag replay, and engage on it, because the engagement, whether or not it's a replay or whether it's live, is super powerful for allowing more people to see the content. And you never know, whatever anyone else is going through in their lives, it might save a life. And it's powerful. Just one person it needs to touch, or one person make a difference in their life, and then it was worth doing it. Or one person sees it and says, hey, I really liked what you're talking about. Could you do some one-on-one with me? And that's perfect. And that's kind of what I need to happen. But I need to still get this stuff out anyway, because otherwise my angels aren't happy. I'm not in flow. And it's all about being in flow. And in flow means to be high vibing. And when you're high vibing, basically means you're happy. And how can you essentiate being in a happy place? Well, by having relaxation, proper sleep, human optimization techniques, which mean that your body's set up for homeostasis, where the body will heal itself and thrive in that environment. When you're in that environment, you're in the here and now. Essentially, you're in the present moment. You're not worrying about what's happened in the past, which creates depression. And you're certainly not worrying about the fears of the future, which probably aren't going to happen anyway. So we've got a lot of things at the moment to discuss. We've got things like lockdown, masks, travel restrictions, and just restrictions in general. Basically, people being governed, people being told what to do, changing of the goalposts, new normals, old normals, people worrying about jobs. In my opinion, there's always been a kind of sinister undertone underneath society anyway. It's why I've got my best friend next to me, my Kangen water machine, because this gives me the best water in my health and my life. And this is why, well, basically within 12 hours I've come out of hospital when I had a spinal surgery back in January, and you don't really see a scar there. Didn't use anything, arnica, olive, not olive oil, aloe vera. Aloe vera. I say hello Vera. And then I've used this water on my face this week. So you know, and you want to know more about that was a video that I did before, and you can also reach out about that with me as well if you want to have the best. Basically, this is going to be like the on-trend thing in kitchens very, very soon. Like, no one wanted a smartphone. No one thought they needed a smartphone. Every fucker's got a smartphone now. This is the way this is going. There's more people that know about our health and know about what's actually going on in the world, the undertones, what's actually in our water, what's in our food. We're basically all being like poisoned and conditioned, and it's about time more and more people woke up. People are rioting. Well, no, it's not rioting, is it? Sorry, protesting. It's peaceful protesting, because rioting would be a bad thing. That makes you know better than the bastards trying to basically kill us off and control us anyway. Because they're creating that fear, and fear allows you to be governed, because if you're scared, you'll do as you're told. Essentially, that's what it is. So by creating confusion, by almost creating a smoke screen, really, to take you away from what's really happening. I know that there was like not that the Black Lives Matter is a smoke screen, but there's certain things that will have people's anger and energies drawn to certain things, while it's that sleight of hand business going on. And what was going on and I don't know if you're aware, they were trying to change the bylaws to do with human rights around legalities around vaccinations, and worryingly enough, some people are aware and spread the message and try to have these things stopped. I don't know whether they did. I don't think that they probably could stop it, but they changed it for being that anyone could basically, even non-medical professionals, could give out vaccines, that they didn't have to go the usual kind of 5 to 10 years kind of testings and sanctions and what have you, that the law enforcement had the right to detain or to administer if people had been naughty, kind of thing. It wasn't one of the main ones. The main one actually was the fact of the company. Oh, it's open trade, so anyone can own the vaccine, instead of it being kind of like owned by certain people. So it meant it can be moved around more freely. And the big one is the liability clause, that through cause of injury or death, the people that administer or the companies that manufacture can't be held liable, which is the biggest amount of BS I've ever heard in my life. So just be very wary of all that crap, and don't be the first people to sign up for it. Because what will happen is, I think, then people being scared in the mindset, and they're saying, okay, right, you're going to be locked down, you can't travel, you can't this. But now if you have this vaccine, and it's going to have like a microchip, so that we can, a biometric thing, so that we can, hi, Mishka, I hope you're fine, mate. Oh, darling, I can't see you there probably. I hope you're a lady, and I'm sorry. Yes, good, she's a lady, a very pretty lady. She's giving me hearts. Thank you. Thank you for jumping on. I believe that, again, it's a smokescreen for people being able to be governed and controlled. And like for me, for instance, I'd be like, hell no, I'm not going there. I think that these things can be very, very dangerous. I think they probably kill more people than they do more good. But again, they're very, very good at covering up the figures. I mean, ever since day one of the whole COVID, people being tested, people dying, people with the numbers don't add up. The numbers are inconsistent. Each country's got its own thing, and they're trying to do. It's too many inconsistencies, and now more and more people are actually standing up and saying, "Well, actually, yeah, now I see maybe there's something a little bit more sinister going on, or I've lost a bit of faith in government." There's more and more stuff going out about who funds or advises these people as well, which is worrying, because it's almost like the propaganda machine behind all of this, which is the news. And I think the biggest conspiracy of them all is that the government and the news have our best interests at heart. I've never really had much love for these things. I joke with my dad and say, well, we've always known that I've had a different kind of look on the world. Up to I didn't know why till a couple of years, and now I think that with my spirituality and with what I know, with with studying and being around like-minded people, well-informed people, coaches, therapists, people from different walks of life, but also know that self-development is key, and having that tenacity towards our own knowledge is essentially the biggest asset we have right now is time. It's not money. Money's always been driven into a kind of like a negative thing, money. I think that we've all been conditioned to kind of work, go to school at this time, all look the same, or all get used to sort of getting on the buses. It's all conditioning, all of it. And I think that if they're trying to create some sort of like utopian society where some people won't be allowed out because they won't conform. Okay, Si, no problem, brother. I'll send you some info on the agua. It's just worrying, really, that I never really liked doing what I was told. I know there's a lot of stuff now that I feel that I'm a lot more in tune of things that make sense to me. I can sort of sit back. I've run pubs for many years, and I can sit back and I can watch this kind of this drone of normality that seems to just escape outwards of people sewering themselves with alcohol. I know that alcohol is one of the biggest problems with sugar, that create grey matter on the brain, which means that your cerebral capacity has no more capacity of growing and learning, and we can't expand our minds. And they say that you can't create new brain cells and things like that. Well, actually, you can. It is possible. There's this miracle thing called exercise, and when you've got good nutrition, good positive mindset, your body can be in a position to really thrive. And when your body's in homeostasis, hi Mitzi, hope you're well over on Instagram. You can really create that environment for yourself to actually learn, grow, become better. I thought I had the condition that it was like once you've been to school, you don't have to do anything else. Every time you start a new job, you have to do a little bit of learning, and you just go through the mill. It's just a rat race. It's just one big rat race. And then people get married, have kids, get mortgages and stuff, and then they're worried about paying their bills. I speak to a lot of people now, and sometimes people don't turn up for calls, or they'll say, "Oh, thank you very much for your time, but not now," or this. And I do think to myself sometimes, well, the reason why they're not prioritizing their own well-being first, which essentially is more important than anything else. The biggest investment anyone can do is put time into themselves, especially now more than ever. Because you could say, "Oh, I'm doing all this stuff for other people and I'm stressed and I haven't got time and don't have the money," but then you're like prioritize taking you and the family out for pizzas and have a bottle of wine. Whereas if you didn't do that, stayed in, made a bloody pasta meal, and then spent an hour with a coach, or even just an hour on your own, doing some self-development stuff, you'd be in a far better place then to actually have filled up your own cup. Like if you're on a boat and you've got to put on the life jackets, you put your own on first, you help someone else. If you're on a plane, you put on your own air mask, oxygen mask, and then you help someone else. But in real life, we don't. We're conditioned to think that we're selfish, or other people are just take. But to what end? You've got to give to yourself. You've got to give that time to yourself every day. And if you can't, then it's just excuses, really. There is time to be had. We used to do this exercise when we first did coaching, where it was like, I'll do like a time planner, but then put in all the times of stuff when you're kind of not doing anything. So instead of blocking out your time and giving yourself 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, which is far more productive, what we found that was happening was we were just procrastinating at certain times, and kind of just wasting time, really. But then we'd think we'd had a really productive day. So it's crazy. So let's talk a little bit about fear. Well, when a part of fear being in our imagination, also, which is hasten to add, we're given within the evolutionary processes, we're given inherited these gifts of having chemical responses in our body and mind. We have a primitive mind, which has our fear responses, chemical responses, and automatic behavioral responses. And we have an intellectual brain, our conscious mind, which is aware of what's happening around us and makes decisions. But unless we make decisions and then continue to create the habit repetition and going over and over and over again, we won't create new beliefs. And the new beliefs are there, and they've all been inherited and given to us passively. And that's come down through generations, through not being good enough, not being worthy. It normally always falls back to the same things, but everyone thinks that they're different and that no one can help them. But let me just tell you this, we're all the same. We're all very much the same. The way our brains work is like a computer, and the limiting beliefs and the things, the traumas that we've had happen to us, they're individual. How we then deal and cope with those is the same, because a lot of it's about acceptance, letting go. You don't need to go and see counselors for 10, 15 years and have antidepressants. What we do need to do is focus on the good things in our life, because it creates a constant nice flow of serotonin in our brains. And when we're in that state, we are happy, brave, coping little souls. And we are looking for the best feeling thoughts. We're shining the light on the good things in our life, and it's super, super important, super, super powerful. So we also have dopamine and things like this coming. Well, when you're stressed, you produce an overload of adrenalines and hormones. And when you're depressed, you don't produce any at all. When you have dopamine and things, this is why people have problems with this when they have addictions or when they have weight problems, because every time you think of food, you get a dopamine hit because you're encouraged to go towards that. Then if you saw the food or you saw the apple tree and then you'd be given another dopamine hit so you could travel towards it. Alcohol does the same. But then how would you get dopamine without that? Well, you'd have to create the habits for your body to thrive, because otherwise then, because your body's not innovative, it doesn't think, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It basically refers to the whatever kept you alive before, the former patterns of behavior. So whatever you did yesterday to survive, you're going to do more of. So if that was eat a load of crisps and have a bottle of wine before bed, and then you fell asleep because you were stressed, you're going to be encouraged to do it again. Because then you know that that's not the best thing for you, but we do it anyway. So a lot of the time, we need to be taking positive steps towards creating new habits, creating new neuronal clusters, which I was talking about. So when you have a thought, a neuron fires, and then when you have that thought over and over again, it creates microclusters, and then they start wiring together. When they're wired together, they start showing up on their own. So if you're used to growing up and being told you're stupid, or you've got an abusive relationship with somebody, or it could be that, like, similar to me, it wasn't that anyone in particular made me feel that way. It was me doing it. It was me being the abusive person in my own life, and I was the victim in it as well, which is, kind of fucked up now, but it is what it is. But then I'm doing something about it. And when I have things like, the face and the face and what have you, and the old me wouldn't have come out on cameras, we would have just stayed indoors and felt very sorry for myself. Whereas I'm kind of like not too asked about it, and I kind of think that it's important to have that message, and whether or not that message is heard or not heard, it's a message that needs to be out there anyway. Spiritual in nature. I think that we're all here, and this is a really, really important time in history, maybe the biggest important time ever, because I think that there's enough people that are awake now, and there's enough people that really believe that, in touch with spirituality and are doing these holistic practices, meditations, going within, letting go of thought, connecting with themselves on a high level, vibing as high as they can. And I think that's basically you'll live in your mindset, in your best mind and body, that you'll set yourself free, and you can really save yourself. And we should be teaching this kind of stuff that I do in an initial consultation with people for hypnotherapy, because it's important to know. It's important to know that your mind's always listening to you and taking orders from you, and that your mind's always creating what you tell it. And that's a super, super powerful one. Right on half an hour as well, so I have to remember that. So I'm Terry James from Costa Blanca South, and I'm here to tell you that your mind is always listening to you and taking orders from you. and your mind is always creating what you tell it. So whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're probably right. Wise people learn from their mistakes, geniuses learn from other people. But we don't like listening to other people, do we? No, we don't like to be told things because we think we know better. But unless you change the things you're doing, you're not going to change the outcome. And it's super, super powerful that, thoughts create feelings. Also, you can change your physiology and you can change your state to create a better awareness in your mind. So, for instance, you could be like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, but you force yourself and you force your body to move, and it creates good feeling chemicals, and you're then going to feel happier. Or you're going to feel like, oh, I don't want to do anything. So you're just telling your body to basically just sewer and be lazy. Or you might be in a, hello, Janet Perry, how are you? And down there on Instagram. Or maybe you're I don't know, it can be excuses to be lazy and stuff sometimes, can't it? Hi, Nicolette, hope you're well. Giving you a wave. But honestly, the mindset is the most powerful asset we have in our lives, and time, because everything is an energy transfer. I believe we are energy beings. We're made up of source energy. We're made up of the energy that creates worlds, and we all inherit these beliefs. And a lot of the time, I don't think we believe how powerful we are. How much power we have in ourselves to actually have that level of control, and that level of choosing happiness, of choosing what you do. And I think when people are like anxious and depressed, it's that going round and round in circles. It's that why me, when I think sometimes we should be saying try me a bit more, and trying new things. Because if you want things you've never had, you've got to do things you've never done. Hypnosis is very passive. We're talking about mindset reprogramming audios, which, using law of attraction based language, thought-provoking language, very much positive solution focused thinking. I can, I will, I am, I do. And it takes you towards that desired outcome. So you're constantly thinking forward thinking, and not thinking about all the things that happened in the past, because your emotion is energy in motion. And if you're thinking about things in the past which weren't good, you're basically giving energy to that, and you're bringing that into your future. That's why I don't really like counseling, because they're saying about all the stuff that's happened in the past, you're then reliving those memories every time you talk about them. So there is a place for it, there is a place for medicine, but holistic health, holistic healing, going within, which is essentially going to a place of no thought, because we want to raise our vibration. And by basically having a place of no thought, we can balance our brain waves, we can reach for the good feeling thoughts, we can connect with ourselves like a high level of consciousness. So some people would say like talking to aliens or talking to angels, but whatever like term of a deity you use, what faith, religion, I think that none of that really matters now as such, because we're all human beings trapped in that negativity cycle, where if we don't wake up really soon and start going within, spending 10 minutes, take a break from our lives, start doing some motivational stuff, some listening to delta wave music, and just relaxing, taking that little bit of time for ourselves, well and truly we're fucked. I'm not, because I do it, but we can transcend a lot of negativity and not listen so much to the news, and just not worry about the specifics of the area you're in, and more worried about what the whole aspect of what's going on. And I think that by eating a little more consciously, healthier, raw produce, fresh fruit, not ready meals and stuff, which is not even food nutritionally wise. It's just full of chemicals. It's dead. The water that most people are drinking is dead. If people want to ask me about the water, that basically what I call miracle water, my healing water, it's a medical grade water machine that I have in my life and my family's life for the last year and a half. I don't talk about it as much as I should do, really, because it's something that I do tend to do like ads for, and then speak to people about a business opportunity, which never really sits with me that well, talking about the business opportunity wise, because there's so much scams going on out there. Whereas when you can just actually talk about about mindfulness, positivity, being involved with a bunch of really, really amazing people with similar goals and the like-minded, that they want to be healthy, they want to help people and live their best lives, and have like that kind of freedom, to do what they want when they want, and not be monetary driven, which money is not the root of all evil. It's an energy transfer, but I think that it's been given the undertones. I think the banking system's coming down. I think that the education system's coming down, and I believe the religious systems that are on this planet, in this world, are coming down right now. I think that when we get into 2021, we're going to be looking at a new world. Not in, well, maybe if it, I don't know whether it'll be that soon, but we're certainly, it's never going to go back to the same way. And I think more and more people are becoming more and more aware and more awake to the power of their thoughts. Mindset is so important. Anybody that follows me a little bit or even works with me will know that, yeah, I'm a positive guy, and even in the face of adversity or turning pain into power. Look at how I kind of responded to this accident. If anything, I bounced back stronger. And even the situation I've said a couple of times to people that I've hired this office. I came over to Spain. I basically put myself in a position where I was going to financially put myself in a really shit place. And it has, and that's brought on stress and what have you. And that hasn't really come out. It's come out in my thoughts, and I've got the tools to deal with that and to turn it around and have affirmations. And I think it's powerful sometimes. And my angels, my special gifts, and they've kind of told me off a little bit for not being freely talking about them too much, and about how I feel about what's going on in the world, because I think it's one of those that people that understand, and there's 6 of you on here, I know, on my Facebook, and I'm not sure how many people are on Instagram there, but the people that are watching are either spiritual or interested, or it means something to you, it relates to you, it resonates with you, and that's great, because you put out your vibe and you attract your tribe. What I've done recently is I cut myself off from some people, and I went for my, so they are my closest friends and what have you, but they don't have to be your closest friends forever. If you grow and you change and you kind of move in a different direction, it's nice to still hang on to that normality, but then what does it do for you? And it basically lowered my vibration to the point where maybe I made a couple of not the best decisions, and it's left me in a situation where I'm not exactly where I want to be. I wanted to be working with like a handful of people from the office and from home, and actually have my own home where I could be on my own in my own space and thrive and meditate when I wanted and have silence when I want. I don't watch TV, don't listen, unless I'm choosing to raise my vibration and listen to certain music and stuff. I won't essentially have any of that stuff, because I think it's all negative. Occasionally, very, very occasionally, I'll sort of say, right, I'm having a night off, and I'll like watch a film or something, and that's cool. But I'm not exactly where I thought I would be, and that's fine. And then, of course, then the accident happened as well, and then it's given me that kick up the arse to be like, shit, well, you can't stop. And it's actually created a lot of good content, I suppose. It's allowed me to come out and talk about the water and healing, and about mindset and about positivity, and how important that is in our lives, especially when things aren't going right. And that's a really important message now more than ever so, because of, I'm essentially just talking about me having the balls to be positive and say, look, hey, if I can be positive and my face was hanging off and coming out and not being like shamed or scared, then other people shouldn't be too scared about basically doing what's going to essentially be best for them and their families. And most of the time, that's putting a little bit of time for you, working on your mindset, thinking about all the things you're grateful for in your life, putting down some of the things that don't serve you, and picking up some of the things that maybe will take you towards that new direction or that new goal, whatever it is that you need. I'm going to have to shoot off, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to say goodbye to Insta. I'll still stay on there with you guys. Thank you, Instagram. Bye-bye. Don't even know what that means. That'll be the CD stopping. Oh, there we go. End. Yes. Okay. I'm going to get out of there. Yeah, I've got a call to get on with somebody now, so I better just check that that's all going to go well, and yeah, I'll get off. So yeah, the really, really important one, guys, about mindset. The meditation is practicing flexing that muscle of letting go of thought, essentially, so that it's very passive and you're putting in good things. It's a relaxation technique, but more powerful than that, hypnosis. You can create new habits of thinking and do these things by yourself, and it takes 21 to 28 days. That's fine. The most quickest and most powerful way and most impactful way to do this and do it easily is passively. That means by just lying down and listening, basically. You're doing it in your sleep, essentially. And that is with hypnosis. And so you need to seek professional or have someone help you. But there's a lot of stuff out there for free. But people are just like make excuses, or they're lazy and they don't actually put a finger out there and ask and actually go out and look for stuff. And they go, oh, I tried this, I tried that, I tried everything. Okay, what have you tried? They name 2 things. They tried it a couple of times. Boom, that's everything. That's how we've been programmed. It's bullshit. So, life is as easy or as hard as we make it. And it's all a choice. You can choose happiness. You can choose to be in fear. You can choose to misery likes company. And honestly, it's not me having a go at you. The way I talk like this is because I'm really passionate about it. Sometimes I get quite feisty, I do, yes. And but it really is down to ourselves to take those steps. I mean, I've been doing this stuff for over 2 years now, and there's no end product for me. And when I have the opportunity to, I pay for coaches, I pay for courses, and then that's more content, more learning, another book, something else that I can. I read a book and then I look at some what I've just read and learned, write down a couple of things, and I might come out and do a live about it and pass that value on. And at some point, that value then will be given back to me in the way I want it. I'm pretty much open to receive that value now. If any of you watching, guys, come on, give it to me, because there's things that I want to do. I want to be in my own space, and I want to be. I probably shouldn't say want. I'm going to be in my own space, and I'm going to be a bit more free and just light and airy. I felt a little bit like tensed up energetically wise, and I think by being open and honest and coming out on these lives, talking about the spirituality, by talking about the health, the wellness, and how other people can make these small changes day by day just to improve little by little, then it's super powerful for them. And I think that if we don't start doing more of that, then more and more people are fucked, basically. More and more people are going to be living in their uncomfortable comfortable lives, thinking that everyone else has gone a little bit mad, trusting in the biggest conspiracy of them all is that the governments and the media have actually got your best interests at heart, which is absolute folly. Absolute folly. It's always been a propaganda machine. It's always been full of bullshit. It's called news. It's not news as such. It's just bad news, isn't it? Very rarely they come out with anything nice, because that's the way we've been programmed. If I put up a post like my face smashed in, I get 300 comments. If I put a picture up with me with a pussycat, I get 200 comments. If I put a picture up of myself just saying, hi, I've had a really good day, I get 5 comments. It's the way we've been conditioned and programmed, which is wrong. And it's time for us to take back control. Take back control of your life. Take back control of your thinking. You are not your thinking. You are not your thoughts. You are the programmer. You're the one punching in the keys. You can 100% take control back, and you can reprogram that subconscious mind. You can put more positive things in there that are going to start showing up on their own, creating new beliefs for yourself. So nearly at 44 minutes again. So I'm going to say peace. Love you loads. Toodles.